Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This one we're jumping back a little bit again to the end of Leagues 5. Now obviously I try hard a lot more than I did in the previous one, only achieving the bronze trophy in the last one. For some reason it was a bit bugged and only showed the adamant league trophy, but I obviously do have the rune one. It is now in the bank, but this was sort of what I decided to spend all of my points on, my hard-earned points. There was a few things on here that I hadn't considered, but obviously at the time I then was thought, why not? What's the harm going to be? So obviously you can see there quite a sizable amount in terms of how much that's worth on the GE. I imagine that fluctuated quite a bit around the end of leagues and probably still is now. But ultimately, this is what I ended up buying. Got the spirit tree, the house decor, the pool, all the teleports, the carpet, the curtains, as well as the twisted horns for the Slayer helmet. I do think it looks the best out of all of them, as well as an extra shattered relics. I believe it is the multi-use, multi-thing ornament kit, so I can put one on my tent whip. Now, as the title of this one suggests, I was going hard on Herblore. It's taken a long time. As I used to say a lot, it was a bottleneck. It was something that I didn't know how I was going to get a bunch of the herbs, as well as landing like the kingdom and bossing and stuff, but I didn't quite know the volume at which I would get them and how frequently. But it actually hasn't been that bad. But yeah, obviously you know me, I love doing my clues, and this step has come up numerous times. Obviously having the straw hat as well as the garb bottom and some top. But yeah, no, that's all done now and in the box. But what you saw there was me doing a bunch of tithe farm, which obviously I haven't done since I got the herb sack right at the beginning of this account. But yeah, I needed to grow grapes so that I could get Zamorak's grapes with the blessings. As yeah, it's far easier to do it that way than it is to go and telegrab them from the wildy or go and get them from bosses. Caveira is a good choice, or you know, but yeah, I decided to do it that way. But there's a nice 300k XP drop from me making all of my grapes into wines of Zami with the blessings there. Very efficient if you did tithe farm a little bit more efficiently. I was doing it sort of semi AFK, so that made a big difference in terms to how quickly I was actually getting the seeds and then growing the grapes and rotations and stuff like that. Now, unfortunately, on screen, what you're seeing is me making all of my prayer pots that I had the old way, the more now incorrect way. Now that I have obviously finished mixology. Obviously, all this was allowing was for me to do 14 at a time at most, whilst saving the odd snake grass here and there, as well as obviously making the occasional 4 dose with the amulet, which obviously I tried to only use on the good potions like prayer pot, super restores, brews, things like that. But yeah, yeah, this slowed everything down because although you know Herblore has fast XP rates anyway, they can be much faster once you have completed mixology because you can use the Regent's pouch. Now you can use that to obviously be able to then make, I believe it's 26 at the moment because you can't use the unfinished potions directly on the pouch, but you can put the secondary in the pouch and then keep getting more as long as you leave one out so that you can then obviously then use it on the unfinished potions because you can't use them directly on the pouch. But with the addition of Jagex's lock inventory slots, that makes that so much easier rather than having to set up bank fillers and things like that that can take a long time. So it's a lot more helpful in that sense. But yeah, I mean, obviously you can see here me making just some super energies. This takes a lot less time. Unfortunately, there are some secondaries that it doesn't recognize. The main one that I ran into problems with was Torstals, obviously to make the super combats as well as extended anti-poisons or anti-venoms, anti-venom pluses, I believe they're called. You know, you can't put a herb in that pouch because it's going to ruin it, or so the game message says. But I think there's a few others where that is also the case, where I only work on basic herbal or secondaries. So as you can see here, Mortmire fungus. But yeah, it's been a busy couple weeks sorting out all these secondaries. The Mortmire fungus, with the help of the pouch, was very simple. Obviously, the Eye of Newts, again, very simple. The Limpworts I've been growing consistently with along with the snake grass as often as I can. So I had tons and tons of seeds for those things from doing the Master Farmer grind before. So it made it quite simple for me to obviously just stack up a huge amount. And I've got thousands left of both for when I eventually want to make more potions. The main one that was a grown secondary that held me back a little bit was white berries for super defense, because I thought I have a couple thousand, that'd be more than enough, and I ended up with nearly 3,000 unfinished potions. So again, it's just something I needed to be keeping on top of a little bit more, but I haven't. I will be turning some of these super energies into staminas, as I am running rather low on staminas, but I don't really use them often enough for me to warrant making them or using the marks of grace instead of getting the different versions of graceful that I want to get. The new secondary, obviously, you get from mixology. Got just enough to finish off all the potions I had with all the herbs I'd got from the few Huey kills that I've done. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't really any that threw me difficulties or challenges. The main problem is sort of the time to get them. So obviously you saw me getting the Zamrak grapes to make the wines of Zami. Even though that took as long as it did, that was still a lot faster than going and telegrabbing them. I think I did that for my first 1,000 or so, and I was not going to do it anymore. And I realised I didn't need as many anti-fires as I had Lantadine potions. So again, moved away from having those, and moved away from those, and just to make sure that I had enough. And then I've got just a bunch of spare ones for eventually when I want to make things like Bastion
Level up
potions or something
completed.
like that. But hitting those super energies have got me 98. Now I was thinking, oh, I've got far too many potions. I only ended up with around 1,000 surplus of different potions or different unfinished potions anyway. So yeah, it made a big difference in the end. But here we are, the final stretch, just making some super combats because you can never have too many of them. And there it is, the big
Level
99.
up
That's going to
completed.
mean I no longer now have to have clean herbs to make potions. Other than that, getting a free pestle and water from the Cape, I'm not really sure on the benefits of 99 Herblore per se, other than being able to make every potion. So even the extended super antifires without a boost, which again is great news and great to see. So yeah, obviously I had to run on over to Taverley to go and grab myself the Cape, do a little mix of a potion, and there's your skill emote. Not the best one, not the worst one. So yeah, happy with it. So, and it's a cool looking cape, gold on green. Can't beat it. But obviously, as I said, I was using the amulet. So I made a bunch of 4-dose potions on those important potions that you would use all the time, which did obviously save me some money, but majority of the time they were made into 3 doses. So I combined them all up into 4 doses, and this is kind of what I was left with. So nearly 156 mil, 186 mil, sorry, worth of potions. So it's not too bad, and hopefully should keep me going for quite a while. But for now, that's it for this episode. Until next time.